Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. Sat outside today because it's overcast, it's not sunny, but I've got my sunglasses on. If you saw my first beer check video, which will probably be uploaded after this, got to make that reference and got to talk to someone who's not exactly there. Speaking of not exactly there, I'm not all there, let's be honest. Yeah, but when I shoot videos outside, I'm always like squinting at the camera. And combine that with a lazy eye, it's not exactly the most aesthetically pleasing thing, is it really? But then again, I am doing beer reviews for predominantly middle-aged men, so... Anyway, so today we're going over to... Is it Aslin or Aslin Beer Co? And these guys are out of Alexandria. Well, I think it looks like they've got a couple of premises in VA. Can never remember where that is. But picked this up from Northern Monk in Manchester because they had a nice little selection of American cans, so I picked up a few. And I was there with Craig, aka Ken Beer Reviews, and Adam. Unfortunately, Adam had to leave to get his train home, so I ended up staying there for a little bit with Craig. And I've said this countless times now, but Northern Monk in Manchester, doesn't matter if it's packed or if it's empty, it's just quite possibly my favourite place to drink when I'm in Manchester. And yeah, and they've got a really good sort of like barrel-aged, they call it like the barrel-aged project. It's just basically loads of imported fancy beers as well as, you know, domestic ones. But, you know, those like predominantly sharing beers. But yeah, they had a really good selection in the fridges. So I spent money that I probably shouldn't have, but who cares? You can't take it with you, let's be honest. So this is a can of Mind the Hop, which is a double IPA at 9.4%. So it's like pushing the boundaries between what I would consider, I don't know what the sort of like, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this sort of thing is. But to me, that's like teetering on the edge of being a triple IPA in my book. But I tell you what, how awesome is that artwork? It reminds me of, and I should know the artist, I should know the name of the piece, but that piece of art by that artist that's like, it's got really thick black lines and like loads of white squares and then the odd sort of like red, yellow. Can't remember who it is. It's not Matisse. Obviously it's not Matisse. But yeah, feel free to educate me in the comments. So yeah, I'm not sure what this is hopped with. But yeah, looking very, I just love the artwork of American cans. You know you've got an American can of craft beer just by looking at the artwork. And there's the fashion police, but they're not coming for me, obviously. Anyway, so let's get this open, see what we get, using the Black Lodge glass, which I just rinsed with the pipe, the tap outside that we usually use for the hose pipe to water the garden. So I'm not sure if the water is safe, but hey ho, it is what it is. And yeah, we've got some Italian food on its way. But it's 7 o'clock now, and it's only going to be here about 8:30, so I've got a lot of time to have a few drinks outside and have my tea, and then have a few more drinks because I'm not in work tomorrow. But as I'm recording this, Harry, Blue Noise Beer Reviews, Rory and Charles are in Brum, getting suitably refreshed. So I thought, fuck it, I wasn't really going to drink today because I have no one to drink with, nothing to do. But yeah, when other people are drinking, not necessarily in my vicinity, kind of inclined to open a beer. But a beer in the glass then. Beautiful Black Lodge glass, by the way. So it's hazy, it's thick, It's gloopy looking. If you've got eyes that function, I don't need to say anymore. So on the nose, and it's pretty much filled right to the top, so I can't really swill it too much. I could have beer like down there, swill it, and it goes all over the place, so I've got to be quite careful. I've never had anything from this brew before, and to be honest, it doesn't mean anything because I know next to nothing about beer, fundamentally. I've never heard of these guys before. And why did my voice go so high? I don't know. But yeah, looking really nice. I love turbo glasses. Sorry, Adam. So on the nose. Ooh. It's got that sort of like sticky, fruity sweetness to it. It's herbal. It's got a little bit of a dankness to it. It's got that sort of like quintessential stone fruit aroma. But then it's got a slight dusting of a citrusy element to it as well. Beautiful malt presence coming through. Playing along beautifully with those hoppy flavours. And look at that, I've got such a receding hairline. And I don't look too bad today, do I? I hate my hair as it is. I need to get it cut, but I just can't be arsed. But not looking too bad. I'm going to start a TikTok channel. No, I'm not, because I'm not a nonce. Anyway, so and there aren't, not everyone who has a TikTok channel is a nonce, but it's a tool used by nonces. If you like to spend your time watching like hunter videos, then you will know that a lot of them are on TikTok, and especially the prolific Mark Feely, which is one of the most ironic surnames for a nonce. But we didn't come here for overly offensive and not funny gags. We came here for a beer review, so I'm sorry, I'm going to disappoint you on both counts. Oh, it smells lovely. It really, really does. And I'm absolutely gasping to get it down my gullet. So let's do it. Cheers, folks. Ooh. Straight away, the first thing that comes to my head is like one of those popsicle lollies. You know, those lollies that are ice cream and then they're covered with like an iced lolly. Not creamsicle, although I think that's essentially the same thing, just the American name for it. Beautiful body on this. It's soft, it's smooth, it's pillowy. It's quite gentle. It's just one of those cop-out statements incoming. It's just one of those just satisfyingly drinkable IPAs. And no detection at all of the alcohol content. But it does have that, it doesn't have that sort of like overwhelming presence that a lot of triple IPAs do. But you can argue that it does have a slight triple IPA sort of quality to it. Fundamentally, you're not getting any ABV on this. There's a dankness on the end that just creeps in. Soft amount of sweetness, not too sweet. A beer of this ABV should not be as sessionable and as drinkable as it is. And I'm always torn when I get a beer like that, because in a way it's really good because you can just drink a load of these sorts of beers and not realise it. But then at the same time, it's like you are going to be absolutely fucked once it kicks in. Beautiful lacing on the glass. I never really talk about lacing, do I? I'll just say the same, like 5 different flavour notes each review when it comes to IPAs. That's just really damn good. Really, really damn good. I've always had that sort of statement, like, for a long time, it was always like the American breweries who who were highly sought after for the IPA and like the Imperial Stout and that sort of thing. And this is something else that I talk about a load in reviews like this. I think because of where we are when it comes to beer and the fact that, breweries, it says a lot about the industry, that breweries from all over the world come together and sort of they share their expertise and passion. It's very rarely do you see like an ugly competitiveness. Yeah, sure, you'll get some banter between 2 different breweries every now and then, stuff like that. But it's one of those things where if a brewer or a brewery excels at one thing and then collaborates with another brewery who may also have people within that team and a head brewer who excels in one thing, it's all about that sort of like sharing the knowledge and riffing off pre-existing beers and trying to replicate them, but also then exceed or take it in a new direction. So I've never really been there are some breweries who are just like flat out I won't diss, because I'm not gonna diss hard work. I might sound like one, but I'm not a fucking Tory. And I look like the King Tory, obviously, with my beautiful blonde, messy locks. But even though, right now, we here in the UK are producing some of the finest and now sought after IPAs. I'm not sure if that interrupted the video, but I got a low battery warning. But we're also sort of like excelling and exceeding some of the more like pivotal. Like pivotal's like when you like that, isn't it? Pivotal examples of styles like this. But there's something to be said about a higher ABV American brewed IPA. And I think that's sort of like the thing that we're still striving for here in the UK. I mean, I've had some absolute bangers that are triple IPAs. And I don't know, do I class this as a triple IPA? They're not classing it as one, so I'm not going to class it as one. But it's that silky smooth body, the treatment of the water, the yeast that they use. And this is just absolutely wonderful. It really, really is. And I would very much like to try more beers from these guys, because I always like to make a comment about my introduction to new breweries, and this to me is just couldn't ask for more, from the presentation on the can to, more importantly, the beer in the glass. And yeah, lovely stuff. Highly recommended if you stumble across it. I'd love to hear some of the people stateside to see what they think. I always sort of like get what's the word? Sort of like a sinister sort of joy when I hear like when an American like beer lover who's speaking to a UK beer lover, and a UK guy picks out a can of a brewery like could be situated literally like an hour's drive away from that person. But because of all the, you know, the different sort of laws state to state and things like that, it's like, even though I live an hour away, I would never be able to get hold of this beer. But somehow we get these wonderful, wonderful international beers in the UK. So if this is one of your local breweries, then you are very lucky indeed, because this is absolutely wonderful. It really, really is. Sort of like blurs the lines between a double IPA and a triple IPA. And yeah, wonderful stuff. So if you've tried anything from these guys, then let me know your thoughts, opinions. Any recommendations would be greatly appreciated. I couldn't remember if they had other beers in the fridge at Northern Monk from these guys. I did pick up a few. I've got one in the fridge now, which I'm going to review a little bit later on. And I'll probably put another couple in the fridge to review even later on, because I'm in the zone now. I've had a palate refresher by having like German Doppelbox these past few days. So to get back onto the juice sounds good to me. That was a steroid reference. So yeah, lovely stuff. Links to the brewery down below. If you're in the UK and you stumble across any of these cans, try it. Really try it. And yeah, fantastic stuff. Anyway, cheers for watching. You all take care. You all stay safe. And I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. See you guys later. Cheers.